Hello and welcome. Little surprise appearance in the second half here. It's been a while since I've seen you folks, so welcome. And please join me in watching Nottingham Forest versus Liverpool. It's 0-0 to start the second half, as you can see. I believe no changes for Liverpool. They start the second half the same way they started the first. And so here it is. Alisson in goal. Robbo, Virgil, Gomez as Virgil's center back pair. And you've got Captain James Milner at right back. Cujo, Harvey, and Fabinho in midfield. And up top you've got Fabio, Firmino, and Salah. So in the first half, all you missed were a couple chances by Liverpool. Liverpool definitely dominating possession and a couple clear-cut chances. Virgil had a header that he probably should have went for goal on, a ball to the back post. He kind of got some separation from his mark and tried to head it back 90 degrees across the six to Firmino for a tap-in, which I certainly see what he was doing. Of course, the commentators, I think pretty lazily, having seen the result, said that he really should have went for goal on that one. No shit, Sherlock. If you don't score and you're heading, you're being unselfish at the top of the sixth, of course you're going to say that. But I do think that Virgil didn't have much of an angle on the header. So regardless, no goal there. And a bit earlier in the first half, you had a beautiful ball to the back post for Carvalho, and he had a delicious first touch to bring it down very daintily and in control for himself. And then he put in a good finish, trying to meg Dean Henderson, but Henderson was able to partially block with one of his legs, and it went out for a corner. So Liverpool were knocking on the door. Nottingham Forest had one or two counter opportunities. Forest also playing with two former Liverpool players, Awoniyi and Nico Williams, both at striker and right back respectively. Forest is a very interesting team. I mean, they have a bunch of kind of Premier League journeymen, including Lingard and Koyate, Steve Cook, I think. They kind of infamously had like 15 new signings this off season because a lot of their roster were loanees from last season, which they I think for the most part did not make permanent signings or couldn't. So anyway, that's my recap. Harvey Elliott having a pretty good first half. There was an injury scare with Salah where it seemed like a non-contact injury. There was a defender on his back and he went down. It was a challenge in the box, but he went down kind of holding his back or his sciatica, almost like an old person's injury. Oh, cross in, and Firmino was leaping for it. He couldn't quite get there, and it fell to Carvalho, who I'm not sure what he was trying to do with that. If he was trying to lay it off. No, it looks like he was going for goal, but he was in a bit of a crowd, and I don't think he could probably see it too well. But he's definitely been a bright spark both today and all season as he's made appearances. So definitely very exciting. I know my boy Liverpool Lee has reached a point in the season where he says just play the kids. I think it is probably pretty clear, and it's usually not me, the one saying this, but it's probably pretty clear that this season is not going to end with Liverpool winning the title. With that said, it is still October, and we're 11 points back. I mean, we were further into the season last season and came within 1 point of winning it. So I think you do have to, despite the reason I'm willing to say that it doesn't really seem like this is a season for Liverpool to win the title. It's just kind of the momentum of the season. We've had a lot of injuries. Hopefully it doesn't continue as such. Otherwise we'll have another kind of, 2021 season, the first season with Nike, with Thiago's first season when we had 19 center back pairings with Reece Williams and Nat Phillips, and it was that season. So yeah, I mean, obviously we had the injury most recently to Diaz, and Jota all played to the back post for Salah, and he was pretty wide open, and he just couldn't time. I don't know if he lost the ball in the sun, but he was, in terms of a free kick, he's onside there, and he's got at least 2 yards of space. His mark went up to head the ball and missed it. And so he was going for the first time volley and kind of whiffed there. And then the ball did fall to Carvalho, who he is the one that you want the ball to fall to in the box. His technique has just been fantastic. I forget who his volley was against. He did end up scoring on his third or fourth attempt earlier this season. Harvey goes down in the box there in the corner. It did have the essence of a dive there. Let's see. And Steve Cook, he does hold his arm out. I mean, it would have been a soft penalty. I mean, who the hell knows what a soft penalty in 2022 is? They seem to give them for everything, including last match against West Ham. I was quite peeved about that. But in this instance, Steve Cook did hold his arm out as sort of a gatekeeper. It was an unnatural thing to do. If only you could kind of penalize that without maybe giving a penalty, maybe that would have been a fair result. But anyway, it is 0-0, 8 minutes into the second half. Liverpool still have a pretty good fire in their eyes still in this game. So, as of yet, it still seems like Liverpool have the belief and the drive to win this game. You're not really starting to sense any sort of that, frustration that sometimes you can get when teams are sort of parking the bus. Oh boy, Joe Gomez gets pickpocketed by Iwobi right at the halfway line, and I think Gomez panicked a little bit. He realized he was in trouble, and he kind of tussled and kind of wrestled Iwobi to the ground. I mean, Iwobi wasn't even in possession yet. He still had a good 5 yards to go and retrieve that ball, and then he would have been, in a foot race sort of breakaway type situation, but Virgil was right there with him. Anyway, Gomez gets away with just a yellow card there. And so, yeah. I'm just going to send a quick tweet out. And oh my goodness, and it is the opening goal, it looks like, for Nottingham Forest. I was thinking about in the first half, it would just be great to have a Liverpool game where we don't concede the lead. That right there is a very avoidable opening goal conceded by Liverpool. Ball from, I think that's Gibbs White, number 10. from the halfway line. Owoni was offside. They probably won't pull this back because they'll call it passive offside. Again, as I've said in the past, it's ridiculous to me. No one ever talks about this, but if you're a defender or any type of footballer and you have been defending a free kick anywhere in and around your 18-yard box, there always is the defensive line where you set up, and it effectively is an offside trap. If any one of those players is across that line, the play should be blown dead right then and there. I don't care if he's passive, active offside. There is no such thing as passive offside when you're holding an offside trap. Granted, it's got to be better defended. Obviously, you got to keep playing, but I really don't understand why they allow goals like that to happen. And it is a former Liverpool man. I don't know. I don't think he ever made a senior appearance because there was always the work permit situation with him. Good for him. He is obviously making a player out of himself. He's not just some prospect that it didn't work out with Liverpool. He played super, super well for Union Berlin, which is where Forest signed him from. And yeah, Liverpool are going to have to claw back from 1 goal down. Liverpool are having enough of struggle to get the opening goal themselves. Now it's going to need 2 to get the victory here. Oh, and it's a great ball in through from Milner, and Harvey is there, has a bit of space, and is able to get a shot away, but only able to fire a shot towards the near post for Henderson to save, and he does so dutifully to his left, covering that near post and conceding a corner. Okay, so as I was just firing off that tweet, as far as have another counterattack chances from Owoni to Gibbs White, who has a bit of space, and thank goodness for James Milner once again, 2 games in a row with a goal-saving block, and it is going to be a corner kick, and Gibbs White is going to take the corner. He seems like he takes the set pieces anywhere all across the pitch. And Alisson's able to bat that one away. Maybe Liverpool can. Oh, my goodness. Are you kidding me? The referee blows a foul on Alisson. It was a beautiful batted clearance. And Carvalho, I was just going to say, was going to get Liverpool going on their own counterattack. And that's about as easy a goal you can score from a striker's perspective. They're just showing the replay on that first goal. Owoni had a ball come in to kind of the mixer and kind of got just a scuffed sort of finish off. It hit the post, came back right back like as if it was coming back off the backboard in a basketball game, and it just fell right perfectly to him, and he was able to kind of bundle home from 5 yards. Pretty lucky there, but Trent and Hendo getting ready to come on here, and Klopp is definitely going to try and have this infusion of some quality here today. Again, a little bit of a wacky lineup for sure. This team has never started together before. Harvey, Curtis, and Fabinho is kind of a wild midfield to be starting the game. Aside from Hendo and Trent, who are about to come on, and I'll let you know who they're coming on for in just a minute. The other options from the bench are slim pickings. You got Tsimikas, Nat Phillips, Ox, Bobby Clark, and Basedic. So, I'm not sure what has happened with Nunez. Oh, he's got a thigh injury, according to FOTMob. Artur, really hasn't featured much for Liverpool thus far, but he has a muscle injury. Jota is going to be out until after the World Cup. Konate, muscle injury. Matip, calf injury, early November return. Diaz, same as Jota, not coming back until after the World Cup. Liverpool really need to get a win here today. I believe we have not had an away win all season. And this would be 2 or 3 wins. I thought they said this would be their second win in a row, but I believe we've beaten West Ham and Man City on the bounce, so that would be 3. In any case, we really just need to take advantage of Liverpool. I don't care who you are, you know that Liverpool needs to be beating teams like Forest. And I think the announcer said that Liverpool have never won at the City Ground, which is Forest's home ground. As you see, I'm live on site today. So Trent and Hendo do make it on. I missed who they came on for, but just a moment. Hendo on for Carvalho and Trent on for Milner. A little disappointing to see that Carvalho got taken off. I think that he's been a bright spot for Liverpool today. Firmino hasn't been bad, but with how brilliant a season he's been having, he hasn't been the most active today. I suppose you got to leave Firmino and Salah. Oh, and it's Virgil who had the leap on that corner kick, and normally Virgil bangs those home. I mean, there was no one competing with him I guess the ball went right over him. I thought maybe he got a touch, or maybe he got a call from Firmino right behind him, who he was pretty open himself. But the ball does not find its way into the back of the net. That chance by Firmino is kind of headed down in a little bit of a sloppy attempt, and it's out for a goal kick. Forrest going to make a double change here. Lingard coming off. But yeah, Liverpool need to get something going here. As I was saying, we need to get, we really need to get a win here to continue our positive momentum. Again, obviously a very slow start to the season. 11 points back. I believe that's with a game in hand. So, as bad as things have been for Liverpool, it could be worse. We could be probably 17 points back, or that's probably what we deserve to be. And with how afraid everyone is of City and Holland, the fact that they're not leading the league right now, I think tells you something, that they've been dropping points as well, and Arsenal are at the top of the table. I mean, credit to, great press by Harvey, and Liverpool win the ball high up the field. Firmino plays it centrally, can't quite find someone, but that was a good ball in. Played it into a nice open space right around the penalty area, and Liverpool creating things here. Good to see. Just need to make some of those connections and not let these gegenpress oriented chances slip. You really want to take advantage of those types of things. I mean, that's how Forest scored their goal. I don't even think you can call it a gegenpress by any means, but it was Iwobi kind of being the lone man pressing Gomez and winning that free kick, and the goal happened right after that. So Liverpool definitely need to make these chances count and at least work the goalkeeper. Curtis Jones has been pretty good today. Obviously, he's been quite absent this season due to, just kind of mystery, wacky injuries. I'm really hoping that he doesn't become this injury-prone kind of player. With how young he is, you really wouldn't expect him to have as many injuries as he does have. I mean, he's had eye injuries and thigh injuries and, kind of injuries that you don't really expect or can predict. And not that you can predict injuries, but when a hamstring happens, you kind of, okay, it happens. But again, he kind of just without warning will be unavailable. But I've been a fan. I think he, in order to be a Liverpool regular, I have belief in him that he can be that, and I think he's shown that he works hard. He's a player in the right mold for Klopp. A lot of high energy, and I think that he has some really great skills. But he might sort of still be in that Emre Can category of what is he really best at, and can he be consistent? Another corner goes begging, as they say, with Virgil trying to get on the end of it, but the ball kind of falls loose in the box, and Forest get their body in front of it, and Gomez was adjudged to have fouled deep in the Forest box. I don't think it was a foul myself, but it had the again the essence of a foul committed by the attacking team. So what was I saying? Well, jumping back to Liverpool's run of fixtures right up until the World Cup, which again hasn't really quite sunk in for me. The fact that we are going to have a World Cup during Thanksgiving, for one, has never happened before. And I think the whole, all the controversies going on with Qatar has made it maybe less anticipated than most years. But I'm sure I'll get caught up into it. But regardless, let's focus on the Premier League for the time being. We've got 23 minutes left in the match today. Then Liverpool host Leeds. I'm skipping the Champions League games. And then we play Spurs away on the 6th of November. League Cup. Here come Forest down the left-hand side. Number 21 plays it into number 20 Johnson, who was a sub that came on, and that was a bit of a dangerous moment for Liverpool. But Trent comes away with the ball, tries to play a long ball down the right-hand side looking for Salah aerially, but he loses out, and Trent, ball falls to Trent. He tries to play it first time down the line. Pretty familiar sight for Trent this season. Pretty sloppy with the ball. Liverpool back in possession, though, and Harvey down the right-hand side. He plays the ball in looking for Salah, but good tackle. I believe I'm going to give the credit to Steve Cook there. Sliding challenge, gets the ball first and clears it. Trent tries to take a quick throw, and a Forest player is down, not with a head injury. Not sure why this is called back. This is a cramp for Koyate. Really frustrating there that the ref did not allow Liverpool to, keep things going here. Really baffling to me. I mean, that's aside from courtesy. I don't know why you stop play for a player having a cramp. It's ridiculous. So yeah, I left off with saying we play Spurs on the 6th, then Southampton home, and then that's it. After the 12th of November, there is the winter break for the World Cup, and so those are all winnable games. Not only winnable games, but games that Liverpool should be winning. The obvious one, Spurs away, might be tough, but I don't think Spurs are actually that good this season. They are in third place. They are tied on points, albeit a game ahead of City, but they're tied on points with City. So, I guess credit to them, but I guess my point is I'm not really afraid of them in any sort of meaningful way. I mean, again, we'll see what Liverpool's ambitions are come springtime, and maybe we're in a fight with them, or the other teams like them fighting for top four. But I don't know. I mean, I think it just kind of depends. I mean, as I was saying earlier, we really could be a lot further back from where we need to be than we are currently. And here's Curtis Jones at the top of the box, and he chests it and fashions a half volley on goal, but it is right into the frame of Dean Henderson, who has a little bit of a bobble, but is able to collect it. Henderson rocking the cap today, black cap, which you typically saw back in the 90s. Goalkeepers would wear a sun cap. But, yeah, Liverpool, I think, can consider ourselves very lucky that we are where we are, where I think at this point in time, and I think I would not be surprised if Klopp really took the approach like this, that you could tell the boys, listen, this season has not gone the way that we expected it to. We've had, not even to go into excuses, but we just are where we are. And the fact that we are still only 11 points back is a blessing, because that can definitely be made up, and that's 11 points back from first place. So that should tell you, really, in any other season, very interesting. Nico Williams going off, and they're showing fans applauding him off the pitch. There's a gentleman wearing a Forest top with a flat-brimmed Seattle Seahawks hat. Kind of caught my eye. But as I was saying, again, Liverpool 11 points back. I mean, you could still be in the title race if you want to be. Again, as I've said, I don't really expect that from Liverpool, but the point is, you can basically kind of make a checkpoint here in the season and say, you have it all to play for. We've had these injuries, and you can either turn the page and say, okay, that's in the past, the season starts now, and go for it, and you are well in it to fight for whatever places you want at the top of the table. And we have the quality to do so. I mean, again, regardless of how we started the season, I think if you ask Liverpool fans, do you have players of real quality that can be real good pieces? Again, if you allow us to have sort of a fresh start, Fabinho has been not good this season, but he's a fantastic player. Ditto on Trent. Darwin is a player that's going to, still take a little while to figure things out, but he's going to be an amazing, amazing player. Diaz, the same. He'll come back, from injury. And also that's the other thing too, kind of blessing in disguise is, some of our top players aren't going to be at the World Cup. So maybe they get a rest, maybe they get some meditation in, and they're able to, reset and rest. And, that's going to be Salah. That's going to be Diaz. Even if Colombia were at the World Cup, I'm not sure that he would be able to be called upon due to injury. Who the hell knows with England who they're going to call up, but it's very possible that Trent doesn't go to the World Cup. Same on Gomez. I mean, at this point, I almost think that Gomez might be the more likely one to go to the World Cup than Trent, as he's been having a pretty good season, as well as he is pretty versatile. So Southgate may want that, but enough about all those non-Liverpool topics. We still have got 15 minutes to grab 2 goals. Firmino gets fouled here about 25 yards diagonally on the left side. So it looks like it's going to be the 2 outside backs that are going to stand over the ball. Pretty high line from Forest. They are even a bit, maybe a step further from the top of the D. and the ball is not too much further back from that. But of course, laterally, it is all the way over on that left side. It's Robbo playing the ball in, and Kouyaté gets a header. My voice raised there because Salah did get some separation, and if Kouyaté did not make contact with that ball, it would have been Salah's goal all day. And here's Trent, a little bit narrow on the pitch, plays the ball towards the back post for Virgil, who knocks it down, and Bobby is lunging to get there, not able to really retain possession because he was so off balance and had to really stretch for that ball. And here come Forest on the counter, but that is a terrible crossfield ball, and Hendo chests it down. Jesus. And Trent takes it off of him, plays it forward to Salah, but the ball just runs and runs. Here is Klopp with his arm around the neck of Ox. He is going to come on to the pitch for Firmino. His game is over, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see where Ox plays here. To be honest with you, I can't really even tell you where Firmino was playing. As ever, Firmino is always all over the pitch and in a good way, and Bobby Firmino is a one of one. We love him. It's amazing to see him having such a renaissance this season. I think the commentators were saying that it was more of this 4-4-2 that you're seeing from Liverpool, with Salah centrally, and usually he's up there with Darwin. So it'll be interesting to see if Ox kind of plays in that sort of similar role. Oh, chance for Forest, and it was a rare bobble from Allison, but he was able to catch it on the second attempt. Playing out of the back here, Liverpool, Robbo to Virgil, back to Robbo, essentially to Henderson. And Liverpool got to get the ball forward here. What's it called? So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Ox plays in that false nine, which I think that he has in the past. Probably not too successfully, but or if he kind of drops off and plays what I would think is a bit more of his natural position in sort of more of like a Gerrard role. Oh, and once again, Virgil is right near the end of one of those crosses on yet another corner / free kick, but he can't get any sort of meaningful touch on it. Mangala is coming on for Forest. I'm curious, is this the same Mangala? I'm guessing not. I'm guessing that's not Eloquim Mangala, who had quite a wild career. Standard Liège to Porto to City, I was just learning, and obviously didn't pan out too well for him at City. Yeah, this is not great from Liverpool. It's almost beginning to feel like one of those days, and this feels like a match that we are about to lose. So not the best. Here's Curtis trying to make something happen. He wins a free kick, still on Liverpool's half, but he is making those darting runs, and he is. It's funny. I made that comparison to Emre Can on his behalf, because he is kind of putting in an Emre Can style performance. Why is this still? Oh, there we go. In that he's trying to be that driver forward, and almost trying to be like a one-man team, and not in a bad way. That can be in a bad way in that, you know, you're trying to make too much happen on your own. Sometimes Salah kind of goes into that mode because, you know, he feels he has to do that. And, you know, you can just kind of see players, sometimes when they try to do that, they run into brick walls. But Curtis, you know, being effective and winning free kicks for us, better than some of his teammates, I'll say. Still no real sign from Ox just yet. He seems to be running all over the place up top. Oh, and here's a nice ball in to Curtis, and he tries to find a bit of space in the box, but Forrest able to close him down. I'm just checking my sound, sorry. All right, so 10 minutes to play, and Henderson is taking his sweet time with this free kick out from Forrest, and Virgil marshals the... You've got to be kidding me. Virgil marshals Johnson down to the ground, and there was a chance that... Oh, from bad to worse here. Virgil... Anyway, let me just finish explaining what happened. Virgil was tussling with Johnson on the right-hand side. He kind of barges him down to the ground. He catches him in the chest. I thought that this was going to be one of those where the ref was going to give the foul. He doesn't. Fair challenge. Johnson goes down holding his head. He wasn't hit in the head. This is such bullshit where these players are feigning head injuries because they know that the ref has to stop play. And so he stops play. And Virgil goes down, and he's kind of gingerly holding his ankle a bit. It doesn't look too serious, but I guess he figures, I don't know, maybe he just felt something feel wrong, or, you know, with the Forest medical team going to come on, you know, Virgil figures he should receive some medical attention himself. Time just slipping away here. This is a really bad opportunity to not get a victory here. Game has restarted. Hendo and Fabinho knocking the ball around. Virgil knocks it out to the left-hand side to find Curtis. And Robbo puts a cross in, and there's a... Oh! Beautiful attempt by Trent at the back post. Great connection. Usually, in these cases, this is one of those where it almost doesn't matter where you place it in the goal. It was such a sort of point-blank attempt that usually you just put it on frame and it's a goal, but good save by Henderson. It is right to him, but man, that's a big save by Henderson, Dean Henderson, that is. And they are going to have a goal kick. Fabinho loses possession. He has not been good today. And here's Forrest coming right through, and that should have been the second goal for Forrest. Allison is not happy. Yates, number 22, was through and on goal there. That was all Fabinho losing possession in the middle of the field. It was Yates that won it. Gibbs doesn't even really do anything with the ball. Attracts the attention of Hendo and Gomez. They get sucked in. He just scoops it right through the both of them. Yates going through and on goal. Thank God for Allison. How many times are we going to have to say that this season as he gets a block and it's a Forrest corner kick? Man. Corner is going to come from the right-hand side for Forrest. And they try to play a second ball in. Oh my goodness. Yates actually made contact with Allison as Allison was trying to get a counter going and throw the ball out. It's Ox that wastes possession and plays the ball right to Henderson. A little bit too telegraphed there. And he was looking for Salah, trying to put the ball into a dangerous area, but it just was too direct, and that's not a good ball by Ox. Yates, as I was saying, so you'll get an attacker that sort of shadows the goalkeeper and tries to sort of passively get in the way, slow down a would-be counterattack, but he actually kind of bumped Allison, and there was no real attention given to that from the referee. Forrest is going to continue to waste a bit more time. Serge Aurier is another one of those journeymen that finds himself in a Forrest shirt. And yeah, I mean, as this possibility of losing this match is turning more and more into a reality, it's a shame, because I think that this sort of, as much as I don't want to say it, I think this speaks towards the sort of mental fragility of this Liverpool team in this season, in that, rewind to me talking at the 60th minute. It still was 0-0. And yet I was saying, this still looks like a Liverpool team that will make something happen here. And, this is the beauty of football, is even though my team is losing, I'll still tell you that the beauty of football is one little mistake at the halfway lines, nothing turned into something, and that has completely changed the course of this game. Games get changed by goals. I was going to say goals obviously change games, and in the time that at the time that it came, it really took the wind out of Liverpool's sails. Still, the game is there to be won, as Klopp will be the first person to tell you that. The game is still there to be won currently. 89th minute, as much as you may disbelieve that, Liverpool, of all teams in the world, is certainly a team that has taken on the cardiac kids sort of mantra, and had incredible comebacks as the outside backs are standing over the ball once again, trying to create a little bit of it's Harvey, left-footed, standing over it with Trent. Even closer here, it'd be a pretty dangerous position. Are they going to have a attempt on goal, or ball to the back post? Beautiful delivery by Trent, and it is Virgil once again. I mean, in another world, Virgil could have had 5 goals today, and this is a pretty bad miss. Again, he tries to play the ball across the face of goal, and he should just try and get this on target. Granted, it is with his left foot, so who knows? Maybe you can't really deduce his intention there, because it is his weaker foot and he's kind of stretched, and it's a volley, so maybe he was trying to get an effort on goal, but it had more of the once again the essence of a cross there, from the left side to the right, and Salah gives an exasperated look, that he knows that this game is slipping away. And yeah, it's just a shame. It's I'm not even going to begin a conversation about why this is happening to Liverpool. It's just the luck is not happening for Liverpool this season. The morale is low. I have no idea why, but it just is what it is, and Liverpool are going to have to pull themselves out of this. And it's a shame, because rewind a half an hour and I was telling you that Liverpool have the chance to just kind of turn the page and say, okay, the season starts now. And I'm not just saying cliches for the sake of cliches. We beat City, we beat West Ham. Here comes Alisson coming up. Can I have another classic Beaty's beat moment? The greatest moment in the history of the channel was Alisson against West Brom. I'm sure you all remember. Here he's forward. It's Robbo that takes the corner in, and it's Virgil! And Alisson is sliding to bundle in home. I mean, that was very close to being another goal for Alisson. And once again, Virgil could have had his 6th goal of the game. Virgil has to be scoring that. Again, that's one of those where it's point blank, and it usually doesn't matter where you put it on frame, but that is quite a good save by Dean Henderson. He gets low and he swats it away with his left hand, and then Alisson was sliding in there to bundle it home. I don't think he was going to get that contact, but I think it's Alisson that's called for the foul, as he probably went through the back of someone. But hey, at least we had an exciting moment there. That was very close to being the equalizing goal. Still have 2.5 minutes left in stoppage time. 5 minutes were added. So we just pray for another chance. Boy, is that a thrill, having Alisson into the penalty box. I don't care what happens. Having the goalkeeper come through is, maybe I'm just trying to look for a silver lining. Oh, and Trent fouls himself. There's a sniper in the crowd. He went to go hit the ball, got a little spooked by the pressure coming, and he just kind of fell down. Almost just gave the ball away. But was able to get it clear. But yeah, I mean, again, this is Liverpool, as I said, had the chance to turn the page and rattle off some wins. And again, I don't care if you're Brighton or Everton or West Ham. I mean, Nottingham Forest, even away at Nottingham, you have to win that game. And it's just, are Liverpool fans going to put this one on Joey Gomez, who's had, on the whole, I've been pretty happy with him. I wouldn't say impressed. I think that's a little too strong of a word. But he certainly he's had these moments in him. He's not the Joe Gomez of 2018. I was a big fan of. And it's another chance for Liverpool. A little bit of ping pong headers going on in the box, as I believe that was here's a long throw by Gomez right to the top of the 6. A Forest header, kind of not even half clears it. Robbo gets the header, flicks on to Salah, who he flicks on and forces Henderson to tip over. Alisson forward again, and the ball swung into the 6-yard area, looking for Virgil once again. Liverpool have to reset. It's Robbo centrally, and he plays just a aimless ball forward. Allison is forward. Second goal for Forest has to come here. Nobody home. And they hit the post. They hit the post, and Gomez is able to get clear. And this must be the end of the game. Hendo playing. Oh, there's offside. The ref is not allowing play to continue. And that is the end of the match. So that was a fun one. Of course, not a happy final whistle for my boys. And what else is there to say? Forest are celebrating like they're going to storm the field here. It kind of has that sort of energy to it. Jesse Lingard is doing the hey. But anyway, I'll leave it there. Enjoy the beautiful weather here on the East Coast. Maybe the last real nice upper 60s Fahrenheit temperatures of the fall season. But anyway, it was good to see you all. Thank you for tuning in. I'll try to jump on the stream a bit more regularly and see your smiling faces a bit more before the World Cup. And anyway, this has been Beaty's Beat. Thank you for tuning in, and I will catch you next time.